Okay, I was going to a little tour of this water tank for the streamliner. Here we have 1.5 to 0.250 wall aluminum tubing, structural tubing, and it connects up to a 1/4 inch flange. And then also here we have 12 total of these 70-75 pieces that are tapped, so that when it comes through the back here, you don't have to worry about holding a wrench or trying to hold bolts on it. It also should seal water also. This keeps the cage, the roll cage and chassis from collapsing. Not the roll cage itself, but the chassis, the main part of the chassis. And it gives the car, it's actually a structural member. This tank is a structural member of the chassis. Here are the two return lines that come up, 1-inch return lines, and they empty to the front of the tank, so we get the pumps in the back, and it'll splash to the front of the tank and constantly mix the water. Okay. We're using a Roll 2000 pump. And to put ice in the tank, you'll open this. Okay. Slide this back. And then you can fill ice in from the front, straight down. And there's a little bit small gap up here. We worried about getting the ice in evenly, but we found out we can just put that piece at an angle like that, dump the ice straight down, let it hit here, and run off into the front of the tank. So we'll be using two 10-inch lids to get the ice in, and also to make it easier to service the pumps if we need to service the pumps. We also need to be able to reach down in here and put these lines on these fittings. Now the side's off the tank right now. We're fitting up the last side. Well, once we put the side on, I'm not going to be able to show you what's in here. So we figured better do this today. We also run the wires through here. We have a nice watertight connection that goes on there, the rear of the tank. So this is the widest part of the car, structural sitting. So this is also one of the most difficult pieces of the parts of the streamliner to manufacture. So now that this is done, move on to easier jobs. These in here is a clearance for the air inlets for the turbos. And we had the whole tank water jet, cut all the pieces of water jet, and everything fit pretty good when it got back. And we're ready to put the button on it and put it back together tonight. This is a steel plate, 1/4 inch steel plate. This goes behind the driver's head. Mounts to the bars are behind the driver's head. So we wanted to have this up there to make sure that no matter what happened, we had a big crash back here. We couldn't push these bars through into the driver's compartment where his head would be, because that would be bad. So I think with the design that we have, I think we're safe for that. I think everything would crush before that would happen. Here's the rear plate in the back, made out of steel, the chassis. So once the tank's all done, this sits in the car, and we run the chassis up to these plates. And the tank's sitting in the right place, and the plates are in the right place, then the chassis should be exactly what we designed on CAD system on SolidWorks.